Hello and welcome to Writing Workshop. This is video 4. This is about finding the best evidence, introducing it and citing it. So let's say you've got a question. How does William Golding, author of Lord of the Flies, use the island to foreshadow the deadly ending? Okay, well I've got this excerpt from the text. So I'm looking at that, and obviously the first thing that stands out to me are the literary devices. I see a couple here, the green feathers as a metaphor there, white surf flicked on a coral reef. Some personification, but do these really answer my question? Does this foreshadow the deadly ending? I'd say they definitely do not. I mean, possibly the green feathers could make the island appear more wild and savage, but from the excerpt in front of me, that's not the best evidence to write a paragraph or an essay about. This is. So when I'm looking at stuff, I am being very picky with my evidence. I am choosing the best pieces. Once I've got the best pieces, as I do here, the beach was scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings, young palm trees, not enough soil for them to grow. And when they reached perhaps 20 feet, they fell and dried. Well, I'm going to put it in my paragraph. So William Golding uses the island to foreshadow the ending. Here is a quote that shows this. Scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings, this quote shows the coconuts and palm saplings are decaying. Definitely do not do that. I mean, first of all, yeah, okay, that's just repeating what it says. I've already got eyes. But the big thing for this video is here is a quote that shows this. No, that's not introducing a quote. And never just have a sentence begin with a quote and end with the same quote. You need to embed it. You need to put the evidence around your context. So let's have a look. William Golding uses death imagery to foreshadow the deadly ending in Lord of the Flies. My topic sentence now has a how as well. One example is the beach, which is scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings. Do you see how this is one sentence? It makes sense. If this was just one colour without the quotes, it would make perfect sense. Along the beach are young palm trees which are unable to grow to any height, and when having reached a few years, they fell and dried. Again, same thing. One sentence makes perfect sense. It's a combination of my words in blue and the author's words in red. This is how I need to be giving evidence. So let's have another look here. Ignore this. I've got this excerpt and I want to use the evidence. Perhaps I want to talk about how Ralph bullies Piggy. I've got sucks to your asthma. That's the quote I want to use. So how do I do it? Well, I need to know what's happening in the story. Why has he said this? So the boys have met each other. They're the only two characters on the island. Ralph goes swimming. The surface dive, swim under the water. Ralph invites Piggy to swim. Aren't you going to swim? Piggy says he can't because of his asthma. I can't swim, I wasn't allowed my asthma. And Ralph mocks him by saying, sucks to your asthma. Now I really, really want you to imagine that you're writing an essay for someone who hasn't read Lord of the Flies. Well, if you just put, sucks to your asthma, does that make any sense? Let's go back here. Someone who hasn't read the book, scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings. That makes no sense. To anyone who hasn't read the story, they don't understand what's happening there. But as soon as I say, is the beach, which is scattered with decaying coconuts. Right, well, I as a reader who's never read Lord of the Flies, I'm the reader of your essay, I've never read Lord of the Flies, I understand that in Lord of the Flies, on the beach, it is scattered with decaying coconuts. Same thing here. I need to know as your reader that before Ralph says this to Piggy, he asks him to swim, Piggy says no because of his asthma. After meeting Piggy and inviting him to swim, Piggy declines due to his asthma. Ralph responds nastily to this by mocking him and saying, sucks to your asthma. My words, the author's words. Do you see how it all makes sense? This isn't a separate sentence, it's part of my sentence, it makes perfect sense. And you see how anyone who hasn't read Lord of the Flies would understand what this quote now means. They would understand who said it, why they said it, when they said it. This is context. The who, what, when, why. You need to give that before you give the quote and use your words to do it. Also, don't forget to cite your evidence. Use the author's surname, comma, the page number, parentheses around it at the end of the sentence. And that's it. That's introducing and citing evidence properly. Thank you.